TikTok skeptic reads the Bible for the first time and has a complete meltdown over her own misunderstanding. All right, let's jump into this clip. I don't know, how did we get this video? Somebody sent this to us. Discord. Shout out to Discord. So someone said it's a reaction of this, but then Zach tracked down the OG version, and this is Chef's Kiss. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Myself because I should probably be aware of what I'm going to be critiquing. Like if I'm not going to agree with something, I should probably do my due diligence and understand what I'm going to be critiquing. Guys, like this book is horrific. Like it's horrific. It's full, at least the beginning half again. I'm not talking about the last 400 pages where Jesus comes in. I'm talking about the majority of the rest of it. All it is war, oppression, abuse, and abuse of power more specifically. It's manipulation to convince people out of fear to worship God. It's all fear. Like all it talks about is fear. It hasn't talked about God. Like it hasn't talked about love at all. It's maybe said love once.
Wow. Chris fact checked. It said love 250 times in the Old Testament. What?
That's kind of light. So how far? Hold on. I'm curious. How far did she get?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, so
maybe love wasn't the metric.
So I think this is a common mistake that people get when they approach the scriptures, is they think that the historical accounts of what's happening is an endorsement from everything that is happening. It's God endorsing everything that's happening. And she's right that there's some pretty dark stuff in the Bible. I mean, chapter right after the fall, you see Cain kill his own brother Abel. That's pretty dark. Like right out the rip, there's murder, right? You go a little further, and the chapter where one of the daughters gets raped, and then the brothers go and get vengeance.
Circumcise the.
So they fake a false
conversion
treaty with the tribe that raped the sister.
Yep.
And this is the 12 sons of Israel. And then as they say get circumcised, and then as they're waiting to get circumcised, as they're healing from getting circumcised, they go in and destroy an entire village and get vengeance for their daughter. And then you read that and you're like, oh yeah, God's in that. And it's like, no. Later it talks about those brothers who did that having blood on their hands, you know? And so, and even Israel says that about them. So it's like, just because you read something in the Bible, that does not mean that God's endorsing what you read in the Bible. Just because Cain killed Abel
doesn't mean you should kill your brother if you're jealous of him.
That's not what that means, right? And so I think this is just a basic, unfortunately, a basic categorical error. It's like watching a Quentin Tarantino movie and thinking that because Quentin Tarantino has a racist character, that Quentin Tarantino himself is racist. Missing that Quentin Tarantino is trying to tell a whole story.
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, those were like real critiques against Quentin Tarantino. That's how far gone people were. It was like they didn't understand that this dude is trying to tell a real story, and a character might be racist, and therefore, right, that the entire movie is racist. Like, no, there's a character that's clearly the bad guy, and this bad guy is getting exposed. So yeah, foundationally, this is just a categorical error on her part, that she doesn't understand the difference between descriptive and prescriptive passages. Let's let her cook a little more though.
Out of like the 400 pages I've read so far, this isn't like okay. Like this isn't okay.
Pause it. Yeah, there's a lot of war in the Bible, but you know what? There's a lot of war through history. Like there's a lot of bad things that have happened throughout history
in the last 30 years.
Yeah. And so the world is chaotic. On its own devices, the world is chaotic. It's always been chaotic. We shouldn't be surprised when we discover aspects of history that are chaotic. We should be intrigued when we find times of history or times or parts of the world today that aren't chaotic. After the incredible success of our Bless God prayer journal, many of you guys began to ask for something that had a planner. And so we combined our Bless God prayer journal with a brand new leadership planner that jam-packs the same things from our prayer journal with a planner, goal setting, leadership meeting, and notes. With the next pages, you can see different sections right along here of this leadership planner, where you can start out with actionable goals, 12 months of calendar, our original prayer journal prompts, our leadership journal with the proven problem solution framework, and of course, just free write notes. This leadership planner is based off of Matthew 25:14 through 30, which of course is the parable of the talents. The vision of the planner is to help you make the most of your time, talent, and treasure. Head over to blessgod.shop and get yours today. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace. Like, that's what should get our attention. It's like you look at history and you look at other parts of the world and you're like, oh my gosh, it's chaotic, it's evil. Like, no, that's neutral. Like, that is man. Like, humanity is wild.
Mm-hmm.
History is wild. History is dark. So you don't look at history and go, oh my gosh, bad things happened. No. You look at history and you go, wait, when have there not been bad things that have been happening? When have people not been starving and dying in pointless wars, right? And I think that's what we should be intrigued by, is like, what are the ideas and what are the systems and what are the times that have led to lack of chaos, not chaos. And the scriptures are exhibiting different aspects. So there's like aspects, there's an aspect called incrementalism. Incrementalism is that over time, God works within certain systems to change said systems. So if you see the beginning, one man, one woman, all of a sudden you see polygamy introduced. You don't ever see God endorse polygamy. You just see polygamy introduced. If anything, there's a command in Deuteronomy that says kings shouldn't have more than one wives. And then you see God work through the system of polygamy. And then by the time the New Testament come around, there is no more polygamy.
Yeah.
That is not recommended. So there's an incrementalism that's happening throughout the narrative of Scripture. You can make the same argument for slavery. Slavery was just the ways of the world. That's how things worked, right? People who were destitute and broke sold themselves into servanthood. Not necessarily the same as chattel slavery. And then you see within the Scriptures, from as the narrative progresses and you get towards the end, and then Paul is saying, hey, masters, treat your slaves like brothers. There's an incremental progression that's happening here. And so again, I think she's missing all of that context. And this is when you get into reading something on your own without trying to do any real research on it and trying to approach it in good faith. Because she has a presupposition that this is bad. This is a bad book. Mm-hmm. I'm also curious, like, what led up to this video? Like, was she just sitting there reading about, or like, how does she, because this is a very
emotional.
Yeah. Like, how do you get yourself so riled up to get on camera and do this? She might want to try some acting. Like, this is actually very impressive, like, wow, to tap into this, right?
Can I play a little bit more?
Yeah, go ahead.
This isn't okay. Like,
definitely not.
And what makes me cry is that people are genuinely gonna see me as psychotic. They're gonna see me as crazy. I don't understand. I don't understand in the way they understand. I don't understand the glory and grace of God.
Yeah. No, pause it. So it's not that we see you as crazy and psychotic. We just see you as not understanding and not caring to understand. That's the frustrating part. It's not that Christians think you're crazy and psychotic. I mean, a little bit, but it's that you are not approaching the conversation from a good faith standpoint, and therefore we're going to look at you and be like, well, sis, why don't you at least ask people what you're hoping to, and ask some Christians that are educated and can help you understand, even if you reject it, even if you say, no, I still don't see God moving within incrementalism. I still don't see this. I don't ever see a way where polygamy was okay, right? If she approached it in that conversation, we wouldn't see you as like, we just see you as someone that's genuinely misunderstanding something and trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like John Murphy trying to explain to everyone in the 100 that their beliefs are all just AI and science that they don't understand. That's how I feel. But instead, I'm Stephanie, the character in this world. And I'm just going to turn psychotic because I don't have the mental strength to be patient and be understanding. I just want to go psychotic because this is not okay. Like, this is not okay, guys. Whether 100 people see this video and they comment, I'm gonna pray for you, or whatever it is, or it goes viral, whatever it is.
Of course it
This is not okay.
Well, let's, Stephanie, we'll keep you in prayer. And if you ever want to reach out and have a conversation, perhaps we can fill in some of the gaps for you, because I think
that'd be a fire podcast.
You are clearly, I think you're lacking some of the context around what you're reading. And generally speaking, like, if you're going to try and explore something that you want to have a better understanding of, you want to approach it in good faith and be able to steelman the position. That only, actually, you being able to steelman the position and understand the position better will actually only lend more credibility to you as a skeptic. Unfortunately, what you did here didn't do that. It actually did the opposite. It hurt your case. It hurt whatever point you were trying to make because of the way you approached it and then the way you exhibited the amount of emotion you did in this live stream. And so if you ever want to have a conversation, Stephanie, I would love to talk to you. Reach out. Instagram, we can chop it up. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.